Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. Today is Monday, and as you well know, every Monday we do what we call a masterclass on the Constitution of the Bahamas. And today, it's still going to be a masterclass on the Constitution, but not in the way that we normally do it. Because you may have heard last week that a group of concerned citizens led by former Speaker of the House, Thompson, took to Parliament downtown, and I believe they presented or went there with the intention to present their case as to what is happening to our Constitution with regard to immigration issues. And so Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson was among those persons who went with Mr. Moultrie to make that case. And today on the show, we've agreed that he will explain to us what it is that the document that they have submitted entails. And so we will have a better understanding of what it is that they're trying to accomplish by making this request to the powers that be. So I just received word that Professor is running a bit late. I hope it won't be too late. But as soon as he arrives, we will dive right into him explaining what it is. He's been telling us for a while on the show that something is coming, that we're not just going to sit by and take it anymore. Something is coming. Well, they took that first step towards making that something public last week. And so once he arrives in studio, he will tell us a little bit more about what it is that they're doing and how it is impacting our Constitution, or what they hope, or how they hope it will impact our Constitution. So as we wait for him to arrive, let me just throw out the telephone contacts for the show. The numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That's 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Please like and share the show as soon as you come in. We're also coming to you live on rumble.com, I believe. No, we didn't set up the Rumble link. So just Facebook today. I'm going to have to upload the video to Rumble later on, or at least try to in the midst of the broadcast, connect that link to Rumble. And we are on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. And you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and follow us there. Last but not least, welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. Much appreciated for you being here today. And all of you who are tuned in, whether you are by radio or Cable Bahamas or Facebook, eventually, those of you who will be watching this via Rumble, thank you to all of you for being a part of GPS this afternoon. And I hope that you'll, get what you're looking for in terms of knowledge about the Constitution as a result of this show today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. All right, so like I said, Professor is running late. I have not been advised exactly how late he's running. I don't know. But what I will do in the meantime is I will play the video that we often play on Mondays called Constitution Made Simple. And this, again, for those of you who are new here, will give you more information about the importance of a constitution, how it works, and what its functions are. So here now is that clip as we wait for the professor to arrive. The Constitution Made Simple.
Okay, so before we talk about what a constitution is, let's first explain why we need one. Let's start by looking at the fundamental things we all need as human beings. These are a voice in the decisions that affect our lives, material well-being such as food, shelter, and education, security and protection from violence or discrimination, and recognition and respect as individuals and communities. To help meet these needs, people create governments and delegate powers to them to exercise for the common good of society. The problem, though, is that while governments need powers to perform their functions, history tells us again and again that power without limits can lead to corruption, dictatorship, and oppression. Free, fair, and regular elections might help ensure good government. They allow people to select who they want in power and over time to vote out those who perform badly. But we also need some basic rules to control how that power is used, so that those who win elections still have to respect your rights and promote your interests, rather than using power for their own benefit. Just as in a game of football, there have to be rules and a referee. So in a democracy, there must be rules by which all the players are bound. These rules are provided in a constitution. The Constitution is a law, but it's not just an ordinary law. A constitution is a supreme law that establishes, organizes, and empowers the government and determines how other laws are made and implemented. It is also more difficult to change than ordinary laws, so that those in power cannot make up the rules as they go along. Football wouldn't be fair if the winning team could change the rules, and democracy isn't fair if those in power can just change the constitution according to their own whim. The Constitution harnesses the energy and power of the state, ensuring that the people control the reins. This explains why when people are trying to establish a new, fairer society, one of the first things they do is write a new constitution. This is what Norway did in 1814, India in 1950, South Africa in 1996, and Colombia in 1991. Indeed, nearly all countries in the world have a constitution to establish rules for using power. On the other hand, we've seen that when a democratic government is illegally overthrown, one of the first things the coup leaders do is set their sights on destroying the constitution. They don't want any inconvenient limits on their ability to rule by force. So the constitution both organizes and constrains power. Now, how does it do that? Well, there are several ways. One way is to divide power between different political institutions. For example, sharing functions between a president and a prime minister, or between two houses of a legislature, or between different levels of government, the national level, the regional, state or provincial level, and the local level. A constitution defines the powers of these institutions and regulates the relationship between them. It also ensures that power is rotated. One year we may vote for one candidate or party, but after a few years, their time will be up, and we will have the chance to choose someone else. This means that no one person, party, or institution can accumulate too much power or stay in power too long. It is important to maintain a strict separation between the political institutions on the one hand, such as the elected parliament and government, and on the other hand, the permanent neutral institutions of the state, such as the courts, the military, the police, and the civil service. Constitutions also constrain power by saying what governments must and must not do. For example, a set of constitutional rights may specify that you can't be tortured, that you can't be imprisoned without due cause, and that your freedom of expression can't be infringed. Other provisions may direct the government to provide for basic human needs, such as education, healthcare, sanitation, or housing. Constitutions don't only protect the majority. There may be special provisions for minorities and marginalized groups, for their security, their participation in government, and protections for their identity and culture. Most constitutions also have a nation-building function. They seek to embody national unity and to reflect and declare the identity of the nation and its people. The Constitution announces to citizens, to the government itself, and to the outside world what the nation is, what it stands for, where it has come from, and what its vision for the future might be. A good constitution is just one step along the road to a peaceful, prosperous, and democratic society, but it is a fundamental one. By setting down the rules by which the state should be governed, a good constitution helps to ensure that the democratic aspirations of a people become and remain a reality.
All right, so that gives you a better idea of what a constitution is, why it is important, why we should care about it, because as pointed out so well in that video, a good constitution ensures that your rights are protected, and also it makes you aware of your responsibilities. And in this Bahamas today, we are reminded almost on a daily basis why it is important for us to have a good constitution and follow the tenets of it. As Professor often says, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And so it would behoove us to know the ins and outs of that supreme law, because where there is no knowledge, the people perish. And if you don't have a knowledge of what is contained in your constitution, then obviously you will be prone to be taken advantage of, disenfranchised, etc., because you would not be enjoying the full experience of what it is to have a good constitution. So as I said earlier, we're waiting for Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson to arrive in studio. He is running a bit late today, and we're not going to go through the Constitution article by article as we do just about every Monday here, but we're going to hear more about the movement that he and others have taken to try to get our leaders to pay closer attention to the Constitution as relates to immigration issues. And what they have done is sort of taking or bringing to the forefront something that many in the Bahamas have been very concerned about for quite some time, but just didn't seem to know what to do about it. And so Professor Thompson and the former Speaker of the House, Halson Moultrie, and many others have come together to try to do something about this. So we're going to take a break. Let's take a commercial break. And depending on whether or not he arrives by then, we will see what happens on the other side of this break. Stay with us. This is GPS. We're going to be back after these words from our sponsors. Hopefully, Professor will have arrived by then, and we can get some information about the movement that he's involved with as it relates to our Constitution. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this Monday afternoon. It's a masterclass Monday, and every Monday here we look at the Constitution of the Bahamas. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That's 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show. Also coming to you live on rumble.com now, rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no spaces in between. And we are coming to you on Cable Bahamas channel 974. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and follow us there 24/7. Last but not least, welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it is here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, across the country, or around the world. A huge welcome to you all. So we're waiting for Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson to arrive in studio to bring us up to speed as to what steps are being taken to have the Constitution protected as relates to immigration issues. And hopefully he will get there sooner than later. I only received word that he was running late, but I have not been advised what time we expect him to arrive. So hopefully he'll be arriving soon. In the meantime, I guess we can talk about other issues that have been going on here in the Bahamas. I don't know if you've heard it as yet, but there was another murder here in the capital earlier today, this morning. A 15-year-old boy was shot multiple times in the area of First Street in the Grove, lost his life there on scene. According to police reports, he was walking, I believe, with his older brother when a vehicle pulled up and a gentleman, I shouldn't call them gentlemen, but young men left the vehicle and opened fire on the two. The elder brother was able to escape the gunfire. The younger brother was not. 15 years old. So I believe the police said on the scene that the older brother is assisting them with their investigation. So I suppose in due time we'll learn more about what they believe to be the circumstances surrounding it. But yet another teenager has lost their life here in the country to gun violence, murder. And I don't know how long it's going to take for us to realize that this isn't an isolated problem. This is something that we all have to be concerned about now. This you can't sit back in your home anymore and figure that this doesn't have anything to do with you. Unfortunately, all of us, whether we realize it or not, are being impacted by this violence. And I believe the solution is going to have to be one which all of us decide to be a part of. We don't know the circumstances as yet. It's obviously very early in the investigation. And I believe that we will, at least I will, continue to follow the news to see what police believe led to this. But it's the same story over and over and over and over again. Just different faces involved. And you have to wonder, when will this madness stop? One of the things that Officer Skipping said on the scene today, as I was watching it live on one of the news feeds, and she was talking about where often things begin in the home, and if unaddressed, they can spiral to the point where we see what's happening in our streets today. And she was using as an example a child who in the home just goes into the refrigerator and just starts taking things up without asking permission. And she said, that may seem like a small thing, but if they continue to move things without permission, they're going to think that that is okay, that's just the way it is. And you're going to go from something in the fridge to something else more significant to something else more significant. And before you know it, this kid has grown up believing that they could just take whatever they want to take without any permission, without asking anybody. I just had an incident this morning with someone coming into my yard uninvited, and helping themselves to one of my fruit trees. Now, one of my good neighbors called and said, "You realize there's some strange person in your yard?" And I was like, "No." And I went out and I said, "What are you doing in my yard?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just, getting some fruit." And I'm like, "Well, did it ever occur to you that you should ask? I don't have a problem with you getting some, but my God, do the right thing and ask." And this happens a lot. My yard happens to have a lot of fruit trees, and man, I can't tell you the amount of times people just come up in your yard and decide that they could help themselves. And my thing is, all you have to do is ask. I wouldn't have no problem with you getting some, but ask. But this just goes to show you. So what she was saying on the scene today was that, these kids start opening your fridge and taking things out, and they ain't asking nobody nothing. And then that escalates into them taking other things. And before you know it, they taking money out your purse or whatever, and they ain't asking nothing. And then they figure, okay, well, we could do this in the house, so why not outside? And so that they start going at people's yard or going there and taking whatever they want to take. It starts small. And if we as parents and family members don't nip that in the bud, then what you think is cute with them doing this as children gonna shame you in the end when as adults they don't understand that you have to ask, that you can't just, so every person that you see that is an armed robber today, they didn't start off as an armed robber. They start off moving small things. And nobody nipped that in the bud. And so now we find ourselves here where this has become a national problem. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Michelle. Michelle, you on point. See, Michelle, nobody can tell me different. The home is the breeding ground for society today.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can imagine your 7, 8, 9-year-old, or even your 18, 19-year-old coming in the home. They're not working, neither the daughter, neither the son. But you see them bringing in the most expensive things, tennis, clothing, shoes, cell phone. And then they come giving you $500, bringing in flat screen television, and they're living on your roof, and they're not working. Michelle, that's where it starts from. If the parents today don't change that, we'll continue to have this systemic problem every day for many, many more years to come. It starts from the home. They mimic, they watch you, and they can do what you do. They can say what you say. They cursing upon you, no manners, and throwing a tantrum and no correction. And the Bible said a child left himself will bring shame to his parents. Behold not the correction from the child. If thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. I'm not saying for every incident you have to beat a child. Let me give you an example. Suppose the child do ask and go in the fridge and say, "Mommy, can I get some juice?" And she pour out and the glass slip out of her hand. You don't beat the child for that, because sometimes it happens to adults, the glass slip over your hand. But once you lay the rules down, you have to enforce those rules. And Michelle, if we don't do that, we can continue and continue to have this problem. And we have to get now to the primary school. Michelle, I teach Sunday school at my church from the age of 6 to 13. When they get 13, they go into the big church. And the other day, I led a young lady to the Lord over the phone, and she said, Mr. Starr, I'm coming to church. And she came with her 4 children, and she bring another niece and nephew. I call her. I said, how did you? She said, I enjoyed the service. And guess what, Mr. Starr? My sister is coming too to bring the rest of her children this coming Lord's Day if God spare life. So, Michelle, we have to go after the young one. We could start with some of them, Michelle. We could, and the Sunday school, that's where it needs to start. We teach memory verses, like something that will stick. The eyes of the Lord in every place, beholding the good and the evil. You know, withhold. And so we teach those memory verses that God can use the Holy Spirit of God embedded in their hearts and their mind and their spirit. The eyes of the Lord in every place. So when we teach those scripture verses, children, obey your parents. And you teach them God is watching. He's seeing. He's listening in everything that you do. And if we put the word of God into their hearts and in their lives, and they come to place faith and trust in Jesus Christ, the word of God will scare them. The word of God will be the installation to their hearts. It's like a screwdriver. You take a screwdriver because it's insulating. You push it in the socket, guess what? You're going to get shocked. But you take that insulated off, you can get shocked. So when we insulate the hearts of these boys and girls with the word of God, we can see a difference. So it has to start from the primary school because they're not getting it. I hope they have some godly teachers in the school today because they're not getting it from home, Michelle. They're not, because the language that these children carry on. I see the other day when I used to ride the bus, this place is carrying on bad. And I say, excuse me, say John 3:16. Michelle, do you realize that person look at me, the little child, like I was out of space?
They probably didn't know what you was talking about.
Yeah.
I said they probably didn't know what you were talking about. John 3:16, what's that?
Yeah. She look and say, what? I said, I don't know John 3:16. And that's one of the main scripture words we learned when we were growing up in Psalms 23.
I mean, this is a generation of Bahamians that is unchurched. So, when I was growing up, there wasn't do you feel like going to church today?
Oh, no.
You were going to church. And even as we got older, and you go out and you start partying or whatever, you could come home, nothing o'clock, that's all right. But you getting up for church.
You go into church.
Attitude is, if you could have been up all day partying, that's your problem. You're going to church. So but this is
going to church. And as you get older, you had a reverence. You couldn't go in church showing them and carrying on baggage. I used to go to the Anglican church first, and they had what they call the sect, and find your ass and your screw and things like that. So Michelle, the home. David said, son, give me thine heart and let thine eyes observe my ways. So what they're observing from the movies they watch, the tablets now is a babysitter, and they watching everything, the violence over and over, compounding in their hearts and their minds and their spirit. And so when freshman teens come out, would you think they can react? They can act what they've been saying, violence every day.
Yeah.
From the television, from the smartphone, and from their parents sometime in the home. Some places, the homes are not that big, not belittling the inner city, but it's only a curtain pulling course with a young girl in there. She and her mommy every night bringing some other man in the house here and different. What you doing to that young lady's psyche? We have a battle on our hand, and I praise God that like Paul said, I thank God for calling me into the ministry that I can mold. Many years ago, teaching Sunday school at Baptist Bible Church, people come to me now and said, Brother Doug, do you remember? I said, no. You used to lift me and put me on the bus and carry me to Sunday school, and you used to teach me in Sunday school. A lot of them have good jobs. Just the other day, I saw a young man, just the last one, walking down by Kelly's there. And I just stopped and started talking to him, share the gospel with him, and he trusted Christ. And then a couple of years later, he saw me, and he said, Mr. Stowe, you remember me? I said, no. He said, be right here. And he went his truck and he got a booklet that I gave to him, a folder booklet. You led me to the Lord right here. And I just saw him but a week ago. I said, how you doing? He said, fine. He said, I'm still in church. He goes to Bahamas Faith Ministry. So I'm still serving in the Lord and the church. So we have to share the good news, Michelle, and keep up the good works.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. I say it all the time, we can't, we have become very guilty as a nation of doing away with very important foundations. And no matter how beautiful a structure is, or how expensive the structure is, or, if it doesn't have a firm foundation, then the first gust of wind to come up against that structure, the first, it's going to fall because it was not built on a firm foundation. And this is what we're seeing happening in our society today. We have built this house called the Bahamas that once stood on a firm foundation, but somehow over the years, we decided that foundation was not important. And so we chipped away at it and chipped away at it and chipped away at it. And so now we got this house that is not on a firm foundation. And now the winds are blowing and the waves are rising and the house is crumbling down. Why? Because it's no longer sitting on a firm foundation. So we have to get back to basics. What it is that we as a nation stood for when it comes to our morals and values, our culture, who we were as a people. We have lost that significantly. And I see Professor Thompson is now at the desk. And Professor Mann, you had me a little nervous there. I say, man, Professor, how you have me today?
Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm. Good afternoon, Bahamas. It was a day of an emergency, a very serious one that I had to deal with. I did call into the station and I asked the people who were near me to make that call for me, which they did. I believe Jason would have gotten it.
Yeah, he all he said to me was that you were running late, so I didn't know how late that was going to be, but I'm glad you're here.
Yes. I don't want to disappoint the Bahamian people because Monday is a very special day for them and for me.
Right.
I know the interest in the Constitution is extremely high since the filing of an originating motion on February the 14th by a team called the Patriots.
Now you got to tell us about that because one of your colleagues was supposed to send me a copy and I never received it, by the way. So we're going to have to rely on you totally to guide us through this, huh?
Yeah, he said he did send it. But the thing is that I went through it twice, even before I left the office where I am.
Okay.
And since I was already out, I didn't want to go back to be even later coming here.
Right.
But I would say that it is an originating motion against the government of the Bahamas for violations of the Constitution, specifically dealing with citizenship, Chapter 2, I think it is, of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
All of those articles, and we are very specific and very clear. And of course, what we wanted to do is to inform the Bahamian people, because a lot of people have been trying to reach me. They could not reach me. All of my phones were interfered with. Isn't it interesting that you are in the same room with someone who has a different phone from you, and they're getting clear signals all the time? And every time I tried to use my phone or someone tried to call me, because I got 2 land phones and 1 cell phone, and it has been extremely difficult from Wednesday right on up to now, even up to the time I left, that I could not get calls in. I can hear you,
wow,
but you can't hear me. So what kind of crap is that? And the other phone that is right near where I am, not 1 single piece of interruption. But all of the phones that I have clearly being interrupted, and I could not get a call out, and no one could call me in. And if they heard me, then I was cut off, and then they got cut off, and I heard them, and they couldn't hear me. That is what has been going on, and it has been very hectic for me because I don't like to interfere with people. I pay my bills every month to BTC for service. I've had the service for more than half a century. I don't know where they don't go and check the records and see that, this customer has been very faithful in paying his bills. But, it has been very, very hard on me to communicate with people who wanted to talk to me. But the originating motion is designed to deal with the issues of citizenship in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because many things have been going on which are not constitutionally sound. We believe that with every fiber of our being, because the government of the Bahamas has not even given us a courtesy, even though they were written and we talked to them, members of the team, but we were completely ignored. Now, we have constitutional rights, freedoms, and privileges. I always refer to Article 24(1) of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, where it says, and it's the only place in the Constitution where the Bahamian people can have the right, the constitutional right, to organize themselves for the protection of their interests. I've said to the Bahamian people, you have not organized according to your constitutional rights, freedoms, and privileges. Now, remember now, this has been going on for more than 50 and a half years.
Right.
People have been trying. I've heard the activists. But the point is, nothing trumps the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Bahamians need to understand that, and that's what we out to prove. In this motion, we got that together, and we believe it is airtight, rock solid, constitutionally sound. And they had me right there, being the senior person among them. And I heard some things that were said by some other individuals, and I told my colleagues, I say, listen, man, you want to be constitutionally sound, yes or no? And of course, we dealt with our attorney as well, and he's extremely excited about what we want to do. And we believe that we're going to win, hands down. We believe that we are correct in our association with what we believe the Constitution says, and we are asking the court for redress. There are many, many points that have to be covered, and I'll have to do that in later shows, and I'll have the opportunity to do that. Because the Bahamian people have to understand this is very serious business. See, I heard you yourself saying how we are going down in this country. Something has to be done to stop the slide into oblivion.
So this movement that you are part of, how do you see that will stop the slide?
That's a good question. I like those kind of questions. We are asking the court, among other things, certain declarations that we have asked them to do, because a lot of things that the government of the Bahamas has done and is doing ought to be null and void. It's unlawful. It's not constitutionally sound. We have taken action against the Governor General. We've taken action against the Attorney General. We've taken action against the Cabinet. And Bahamians need to understand that there's a distinction between the Parliament and the government. Not everybody sitting in the Parliament is a part of the government. And people need to make the distinction between a political party and the government of the Bahamas. You can have your political party, but you don't have to be the government of the Bahamas. And for more than 50 years, They've been having a lot of crap and people just doing their own thing. We have picked needles without eyes. I've been a part of it too, you know. So I'm not excluding myself. But, you know, the Constitution says you cannot move unless the people are ready. And so I had to wait 50 years. When the Queen died, that's when the people woke up and say, hey, we got to look at this thing again. I've been at it for years, trying to get them to understand the Constitution. In fact, one fellow told me that's just a piece of paper. I say, you stay right there, or just a piece of paper. But he don't know any better. So it's my responsibility as a responsible citizen, patriotic citizen of the Commonwealth of Bahamas, to make sure that the motion that we have filed in the Supreme Court against the government of the Bahamas, against the Attorney General, against the Governor General, that their actions are not constitutionally sound and it's unlawful and it is null and void. That's what we're going after. We're asking the court to make certain declarations.
So the affidavit that you submitted, where did you submit that?
That was submitted to the Supreme Court on February the 14th.
Court, okay, not the House of Assembly, the Supreme Court, okay.
Yeah, we had the meeting. We had the meeting in Parliament Square.
Okay.
And there was a lot of media people there, but you will see what has happened since February the 14th up to now, how the media has handled it, because we made sure to give them all of the information.
Well, I was looking for did any of them cover it? Because, I mean, I know that you say they were there, but I don't remember seeing any reports actually aired. Did anybody air it?
I'm glad you asked that question.
And you need to lower your microphone a bit because it's like right in the middle of your face.
Okay.
So right there. Okay,
How's
that's a little better so we can see your face.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. All right. The Tribune, as I understand, put it on page 7.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about The Guardian. I haven't heard any radio reports or any such thing like that. I listen to the news. I listen to the stations every day. There has been no report on this most crucial matter that affect the very lives of the Bahamian people. And as I walked in there, I heard you talk about it. We have been talking about it for more than 50 years, Bahamians, and it's time that you take appropriate action. And taking the government of the Bahamas to court is only one out of several actions that are constitutionally sound. I ain't going into the others, you know. We want to get you behind this one that we have now, because it's going to affect your future, my future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future, and your great-grandchildren's future. We have had it, Bahamians. We have been misled, deceived, and by those persons who you gave the power to run your national affairs. You know, all of them who they are, you know. We go all the way back to 1973. Every last one. And by extension, those particular personalities who were appointed to carry out the responsibility of the government of the Bahamas. But they say they were only doing their job. Huh? The man tells you jump into the ocean and drown. You just jump in and drown? You know something, Ms. Michelle, let me just say this to the Bahamian people. I remember in 1971 when I went to see an attorney. First time meeting an attorney. And when I came out of his office, you know what my mind told me? You need to know the Constitution for yourself. You need to know the law for yourself. But then I said to myself, well, what is this? I mean, all kind of law around here. But when I came to see that the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas is the supreme law, that's it. I never turned back. And I'm glad my ma and pa educated me and trained me to have sense. They spent a lot on the 9-12 pigeons they had. All I'm saying, Bahamians, is this. You need to know the law for yourself.
We have a question coming in on Facebook.
Yes.
This person is asking, is the motion filed the Supreme Court equivalent to a judicial review?
Well, let me put it this way. We are asking the court in a part of that motion for certain declarations. We're asking the court to declare some things null and void, unlawful, because the actions that were taken by those three entities, the Governor General, the Attorney General, who is, let me say this is constitutionally sound, the legal advisor to the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the cabinet. He advises the cabinet. So if he gives bad advice to the government, what do you expect the government to do? If he gives bad advice, and I don't know who advises the Attorney General. I'm not the Attorney General, the Governor General. Let me make sure I get it right. But they ought to know the law. You have people running your country and they are not constitutionally sound. That's what we are concerned about. If you keep having people run this country, like you yourself said as I was coming in here, and I know you said some other things before I came in, that we are in serious, serious trouble. We got all kinds of strangers in here.
Someone has put on Facebook that Eyewitness News showed a synopsis of what was done with the lawyer Sean Gardner, Richard Cartwright, but didn't see the professor during the coverage. So apparently it did receive some coverage. Okay, so I have received the documents. I have them in my phone, and I don't know if you want to, because you don't have it in front of you. You said because you weren't able.
No, I don't. You can see what I said. But I have some information that I can speak to, but I don't have the document in front of me, which is true. But what I'm saying is I didn't want to lose too much time because I was out from the office. And I said, since I had this emergency to deal with, let me leave that and come straight here. And that's what I did.
Okay.
So the thing is that, you know, it was given to the media. Now, how they handle it, well, that's a different kettle of fish, but we're not going to get too much concerned about that. Because I knew from the very beginning how this particular matter might have been handled. And it's not surprising to me today, what you just said, some coverage. And you had all those media people out there. I mean, everybody got their microphone, stick it in Sean Gardner's face and in the face of the attorney. And we just got some coverage. They all have the information. We gave them the information, lock, stock, and barrel. We have it too. But we're going to get to the Bahamian people and let the Bahamian people know that they need to support this motion because it's going to affect the very life that you were speaking about, Michelle Malcolm, just before I came in here.
Right.
So the Bahamian people, and let me just thank the Bahamian people for waking up when Her Majesty the Queen passed. That was a sad occasion for her passing, but the Bahamian people, that was the height at that point. But now since February the 14th, it looked like the roof was blown off. And people are interested in calling, and I couldn't get a call. And I'm very disappointed because a lot of people wanted to talk to me. But that matter had to be dealt with.
So tell you what, seeing that I now have the documents, do you want us to go through them? Because that was
what you can do is right at the very top of the originating motion, you have some articles that are quoted. My suggestion is I would like for you to go through those few articles that were mentioned. Let me explain to the Bahamian people the real purpose of that being there. Because you see, I said to the team, we have to be rock solid, constitutionally sound. And the attorney agrees with that. We aren't making no mistake. Bahamians, this is no time to be making any funny mistakes. We've lost 50 and a half years of our lives. And a lot of people lived and died during that 50 and a half years. Thank God we are still here. So we got to do for them too and their children. Scores of thousands of people out there who do not know or understand the Constitution of the Colony of the Bahamas. I'll have a part in educating them and helping them to understand, because I'm going to take that motion and explain it in graphic detail, every single detail. That woman in Baintown who got those 5 boys and the man in Foxhill with 6 girls, he's still trying to find husbands for them. I got to help him.
I thought you would connect them to man. What happened?
He's still having trouble trying to find husbands. He said, Professor, I can't find a husband. Huh?
Professor, you falling out of the job. You're not supposed to connect that woman in Baintown with the man in Foxhill.
Oh, yes. Well, she got 5 boys. And they listen to the show all the time. They got one little transistor radio there, and the boys listen because they want to be educated too.
We have to take a break. When we come back,
I got to speak to them. Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
But you could start right at the top of the educating motion.
Yeah, but on the other side of this break, though, we have to take this break. So let's take this commercial break.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we're going to look at the document on the other side so you can explain to Bahamian people what it is that you're trying to do and how you hope that it will make a difference. All right? So stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm Michelle Malcolm, along with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on this Masterclass Monday. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271. That is 8010271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Please like and share the show. Also coming to you live on rumble.com. That's rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no space in between. We're on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. And we're on the Global 99.5 FM app, which you can download to your smart device. And last but not least, welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio, whether it is from here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, across the country, or around the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome to GPS on this beautiful Monday afternoon here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So, Resident Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson is back at the desk. We're talking about the Constitution, but more specifically, we're talking about a document that was put to our Supreme Court by Professor Thompson and others this past week on the 14th of February. And I want to read from the first part of it so that you can explain to our audience what this is really all about. Okay, yes, so it says, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, in the Supreme Court Common Law and Equity Division, in the matter of Articles 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10, and other provisions of the Bahamas Constitution, and in the matter of the enactment of the Bahamas Nationality Act, 1973, generally and specifically sections 4, 5, 6, 9, and other provisions of the Bahamas Nationality Act 1973 and Article 71 of the Constitution. And in the matter of the... Okay, go ahead.
Now, see, it's a whole lot right in there. You mentioned those articles right at the very top. You mentioned the Bahamas Nationality Act.
Right.
I don't know how much time we have, but if we could just look briefly at those constitutional articles.
Okay, so that would be 4, 5, 7, and 9. 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10?
And 10, yeah.
Okay, hold on, let me pull that up.
And let me just say some things to the Bahamian people. Okay. Because it affects the future of all of us.
Okay, so Article 4 says, any application for registration under paragraph 2 of this article shall be subject to such exceptions or qualifications as may be prescribed in the interests of national security or public policy.
Yes. Interests of national security or public policy. Those are two very important points that the government of the Bahamas need to look at in dealing with applications relating to citizenship. You cannot be careless with it. There are some actions that have been taken which has put the country in a very precarious position. It's been going on for a long time, Bahamians. National security and public policy. Are we interested in protecting the national interests of this country, yes or no? The persons we have chosen to run our national affairs, how well do we know them? Are they interested in protecting the national interests of the Bahamian people? Because you see, that's what we've been paying them to do over these 51 and a half years. You can move on, Ms. Malcolm.
Okay. Article 5.
Yes.
Any woman who on 9th July 1973 is or has been married to a person who subsequently becomes a citizen of the Bahamas by registration under paragraph 2 of this article shall be entitled upon making application and upon taking the oath of allegiance or such declaration as may be prescribed to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas.
Yes. That we have no problem with that.
Okay.
No
The next
problem with
one
that
is
at
six,
all.
right?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Okay, 6. Any application for registration under this article shall be made in such manner as may be prescribed as respects that application, provided that such an application may not be made by a person who has not attained the age of 18 years and is not a woman who is or has been married, but shall be made on behalf of that person by a parent or guardian of that person.
That is correct.
Okay.
We agree with all of that. We have no problem with that at all.
What was the next one? Was it 7?
I believe it's 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, let me double check.
You said 4,
4, 5, 7.
6. You got 6.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Article 6.
You said 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. That's what the document says.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go with that then.
Okay, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. So we read 5.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one would be 7. A person born in the Bahamas after 9th July 1973, neither of whose parents is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled upon making application on his attaining the age of 18 years or within 12 months thereafter in such manner as may be prescribed to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas, provided that if he is a citizen of some country other than the Bahamas, he shall not be entitled to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas under this article unless he renounces his citizenship or that other country, takes the oath of allegiance and makes and registers such declaration of his intentions concerning residence as may be prescribed.
Now, you've said a lot in that one. That's a key article in our argument. We have a lot of persons who are applying to be naturalized in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we know that naturalization has ended July the 10th, 1974. Let me repeat that. Naturalization in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas came to a final stop. July the 10th, 1974. It was specifically set aside for people from the British country. They were members of the former colony. They were working here. They had ties here. They were living here. And they could have applied. Now, however, you have some people who were never a part of the British Commonwealth and colonies, United Kingdom and colonies. But you have plenty of them today, and they have been given pieces of paper saying that they are citizens of the country. Now, in Article 7, we see that you have to renounce. We don't agree with dual citizenship. Our Constitution specifically says you got to be one or the other. Now, for those people who are so anxious to become a citizen of this country, their own country tell them they can't renounce. So now you've got thousands of persons. I don't know how many thousands, but it's plenty. You see them all walking around here. Say they're citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And it is not constitutionally sound because the Constitution says you have to renounce. Where you think you're going? Piling up in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, which is specifically for Bahamians, not nobody else. You have your own country. God gave you your place. We have ours here. And Bahamians have to take place preference. But look what has happened. 50 years and counting. We got all kinds of strangers and foreigners and aliens and outsiders who are clamoring to get citizenship. That is not good. And the thing is that you have a specific period of time in which to apply. 12 months. But before your 19th birthday, we got people in their 50s and their 60s and their 30s say they want to be naturalized. That's unconstitutional. See, that's why we have to do what we are doing, because we see that the government of the Bahamas continues to violate the supreme law of the land. And baby, you got to be careful of people like that, who deliberately, apparently so, because it's been going on for so long, and it has not been corrected yet. So the thing is that we had to take legal action against the government of the Bahamas, against the Governor General, against the Attorney General, against the Cabinet of the Bahamas, for redress to the court. We can't just sit back and talk. We've been doing that for 50 years now. We got to stop talking now. Now you can still communicate, but you have to take action. It is time for Bahamians to get serious about saving this country. And that's what the originating motion is all about. It's for your future, my future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future, your great-grandchildren's future. And I got plenty in my household, plenty of them. They want
apparently, Professor, there are some who are arguing that arguing against what it is that you and others are trying to do. Somebody, yeah,
that's fine.
How do you? No,
let me hear what they say. What they're arguing on.
I haven't. I think this may be the same voice note from Fred Mitchell that I did not hear last week,
yes,
in which he responded to Dwight Strawn.
Yeah, but the information, the information he gave out about our originating motion, if he did do that, he's completely off.
How so?
Because he gave misinformation to the general public. I was there and I know what's in the document. I know it from start to finish, every single detail. I was one of the principal persons who were involved in putting it together along with the team. And we aren't going to make no mistake with this one, because we are rock solid, constitutionally sound. Now, if he has a problem with it, show me from the Constitution where I'm wrong, where the team is wrong. Then I'll go along with you. If you can show anyone who disagrees with the originating motion, you show us from the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas, Professor, you're wrong. Now, if you can't do that, I don't know. What is it based on? You have a right to disagree. Article 24.1, I can take that away from you. But is it constitutionally sound? That's what I want them to tell me, their argument. Is it constitutionally sound? If ours are not, then you show us where we went wrong. That's all I'm saying. No more, no less. But we are convinced. We've done our homework. We've been over this with a fine-tooth comb, lock, stock, and barrel. They ain't playing with this one. We know how serious it is, because scores of thousands of Bahamians out there waiting for something to happen. And nothing has happened in over 50 years. We can't wait for another 50 years. I was waiting for 50 years. I was on the airwaves for years talking about the Constitution. But the Bahamian people were not paying attention. And I'm not vexed with them now. I am just so delighted that they woke up. Because I say, Lord, how much more time do we have? But thanks be to God, we have made a major step. We got plenty of work to do, Bahamians. And Michelle, I want to give out my not cell number, but my email, Sidney M. Thompson at hotmail.com. Yeah.
Huh?
You know, we need some defenders of the Constitution. Bahamians, you need to send me your name, your age, your street address, what sort of contribution you can make to your nation. Because, see, we need people to do different things. and give us your phone numbers so we can contact you. SidneyMThompson@hotmail.com. You put in all those details in there. And so we can organize, the team can organize the people constitutionally. See, I advise them to do that. You got to be constitutionally sound. If you're not constitutionally sound, you're wasting your time. And people keep complaining, you ain't doing nothing. Professor is delighted to be involved in taking the appropriate constitutional action. And I ain't going along with nothing what ain't constitutionally sound. I tell people that right off the top. But this motion, as I know it and as I understand it, is rock solid, constitutionally sound, and people have a right to disagree, no problem. But show the team where we are wrong from the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's all we're asking. And if you can do that, accept it.
So let's look back at the Constitution now.
Yes.
We stopped at 7.1. So
7.1.
now 7.2 says,
7.2.
any application for registration under this article shall be subject to such exceptions or qualifications as may be prescribed in the interest of national security or public policy.
Good. Now, those two key points, national security and public policy.
Yeah.
And also they have to renounce the citizenship of their current country where they are. Now,
here's the thing, though, Professor, talking about renunciation.
Yes.
And I think this is where I guess those who are arguing against your position try to make their point.
Yes, they can.
If a person, so we could say somebody who came to the Bahamas from Haiti by boat or by plane, they can't renounce their citizenship as Haitians based on the Haitian Constitution. But if a person was born here, never been to Haiti, how is it that applies to them? I know the answer, but I want you to explain it.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Because, see, the Constitution isn't playing games like some people do. If you came here legally, you were legal. That's point number one.
But the children who were born here.
But hold on now. How did children get here?
Their parents came here and had them here.
And how did they come?
Who, the parents?
Yeah.
In this instance that we're describing, illegally.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine. Now, what does the Constitution say they must do? They are Haitians. They're not Bahamians. Let's use this typical example. Because, see, you got to answer it constitutionally. Because when you start wiggling and wiggling and wiggling and wiggling, that's why the country is all messed up today. We have not handled these matters according to the Constitution. You must apply between, you're born in the Bahamas, no problem. But that doesn't make you a citizen. And Bahamians need, well, not Bahamians, but people who are here who are not citizens need to understand that. You don't have no automatic right for citizenship. But the Constitution allows you to apply when you turn 18, but before you turn 19. If you do not apply within that window of opportunity, you are dead off. You have no other alternative because the Constitution doesn't give you no alternative. But the man say he's 55. Say he won't be naturalized. We can't have these funny games being played. It must be constitutionally sound. Is it constitutionally sound? Yes or no? People will come up with all kinds of excuses. I don't mind hearing what they have to say. And all I got asked, what does the Constitution say? Because that has been our downfall as a nation, as our leaders have fallen down on the job they were paid to do by the Bahamian taxpayers. Right up to this day as I speak. And so the thing is, we have to correct it. We got to go all the way back to 1973. If we do not correct it, we will continue continue making the mistake. A person who has done criminal acts 50 years down the road, man, I ain't got to worry about that no more. All that time done passed. But you were not caught. You were not caught by the police. You were not caught by the authorities. Because you did it wrong for 50 years doesn't make it right. Or 10 years or 15 years or whatever amount of time it might be. But the point is, the question has to be asked, are you constitutionally sound? Yes or no? That's how I will answer it. Because see, every time you ask me a question, I have to give you a constitutional answer. Not what I think, not how I feel. Oh, they've been here from that time. Oh, they ain't know nothing about France. They ain't know nothing about Haiti. They ain't know nothing about Spain. What kind of crap is that? But that's the way people think. That's the way they want to behave. The Constitution says there is no recognition of duality of citizenship, lock, stock, and barrel. You can't change that unless you have a referendum to change it. And that's going to be very difficult for you to change that. That can be rather in the forefront to avoid that from happening. If you want to be a citizen of them other country, well, fine. And the Governor General in our Constitution has certain powers to act on such persons who have gotten or attained certain rights that are applicable to the citizens of that other particular country. You can lose your Bahamian citizenship. Do people understand how serious that is? Be around here playing games with some people who want to, this or that or the next thing. No, that's our problem. We've been playing too many games. That's why the country's all broken up. That's why we're in this deep hole, but we could come out. We need enough of us to get our house in order and get this country right side up. And by the grace of God, we will, with the support of the Bahamian people, it will happen. And I have always said to people who say they're activists, don't take on nothing by yourself. I have prevented myself from doing it because I saw what Article 24.1 told me. So when this thing went in on February the 14th, 2024, I say, praise the Lord. It couldn't happen before then because the Bahamian people were not ready for it. But they're ready now. And people calling from all over the place. But I can't get no call. But my other colleagues are getting calls. And they're making notes. So I need you to send me the email. See, put that email, send it to me, SidneyMThompson@hotmail.com. Your name, your age, your full name now. You know, my name is Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. Put your full name in there. Put your street address in there. Tell us what you can do to help your country. What is your special talent that God has given you? We need talented people. And then you put your phone numbers in there so we can call you, and we have your email when you send it, and we will go from there. We need you to do that. So once you send those emails to me, I will share it with the team. And of course, I'll be calling you too. Once you put your numbers in there, I call in every one of them. Every single one of them. So you're going to hear personally from Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson.
So y'all are hoping for people to join the movement, is that it?
What we're doing is we want people to be defenders of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The very same things you were speaking to earlier in this show can only be dealt with through the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It cannot be done any other way. We have seen for 50.5 years, people have not taken the Constitution seriously, even though Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson has been out there on the firing line. But then I don't have nothing against them. I'm delighted.
Professor, a couple of people on Facebook are saying that they have sent an email and haven't gotten a response. So you need to double check your email.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll have my people do that.
Okay.
I
Listen,
appreciate
we have to take a break. we have to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue talking about this motion that was set before the Supreme Court last week as it relates to the Constitution and the articles therein that relate to immigration and the Bahamas Nationality Act and where they conflict, etc. So we'll have more of that on the other side of this break. Stay with us. This is GPS. We'll be back after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, and we are looking at a motion that was put before the Supreme Court last week as it relates to the Constitution of the Bahamas and the sections that deal with immigration. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That is 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Please like and share the show. Also coming to you live on rumble.com, rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word. We're on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. And you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and carry us with you 24/7. Welcome to all of you tuned in by way of radio from throughout the Bahamas and across the world. Appreciate you being here. So Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson is back at the desk, and he is going to help us to understand what it is that he, Halson Mutri, and others are trying to do as it relates to getting the Supreme Court to take some action on
Yes.
some concerns as it relates to the Constitution.
Yes, we have heard the concerns of the Bahamian people, and I appreciate them continuing to speak those concerns. But I tell them we got to go further than that, because I'm doing the same thing, but I have to do more. Even now, I have to do more than what I'm doing right now. And there are some things that will be coming up by the team. They will make the appropriate announcements at the appropriate time. And there are some things Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson will be doing. Because, see, we can't do it without you, Bahamians. It was never designed that way. Article 24.1. And some people get vexed with me. Say I'm always quoting Article 24.1, but it's the only place in the Constitution where we have that right to do what we are doing. To protect our interests, Bahamians, you've got to get up and protect what is yours. We have so much to protect in this beautiful place. We can't let people take it from us and say it's their own, because they're working hard to do it. Now we have to fight back with the help of God. And we want to do it lawfully. We want to do it constitutionally. Every single move the team makes will be a constitutionally sound move. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Go ahead, Ms. Malcolm.
Okay, so should I continue reading 9 from the Constitution?
Go to the others, yeah.
Okay, so Article 9, 1. Notwithstanding anything contained in Article 8 of this Constitution, a person born legitimately outside of the Bahamas after 9 July 1973, whose mother is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled, upon making application on his attaining the age of 18 years and before he attains the age of 21 years, in such manner as may be prescribed, to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas, provided that if he is a citizen of some country other than the Bahamas, he shall not be entitled to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas under this article unless he renounces his citizenship of that other country, takes the oath of allegiance, and registers such declaration of his intentions concerning residence as may be prescribed. Shall I go on?
No, stop right there. Let's stop right at the point there. Here is a Bahamian mother who has a child born to a foreign father outside the Bahamas. The Constitution is very specific and very clear. See, that is why we have a difficulty with the government of the Bahamas. I see where the fellow trying to link up this article with 6. Article 6, which is a totally different issue. The single woman and the married woman. The Constitution has a solution for all of them at the age of 18, but before you turn 21. Then you got the crew who are here, born in the Bahamas, got window of opportunity, 1 year. That's all, 12 months. The thing is that that particular person born outside of the Commonwealth of Bahamas will have citizenship in that particular country where he was born or where she was born. Now he's got to decide. Yes, his mother's Bahamian. His father's a foreigner. But the point is, the Constitution says what he must do in order to be a Bahamian citizen. No ambiguity with that. No ambiguity with Article 6, no ambiguity with Article 7, but some people who have been given the authority to run this country do not understand the simplicity of the Constitution.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Godly day, Sister Voice along with you, Mr. Thompson,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thompson, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes,
How
sir.
you doing?
I'm holding Bremen Darling Ferguson here.
Yes,
We need justice, law in this country, the Bahamas.
you certainly do.
This is our country.
Yes,
and we
sir.
got to stand for justice. All of those people would got citizenship illegal. And hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Somebody must do the research, go back to 1973, right? And anybody would got citizenship illegal after 73, they should be revoked. And the people who had signed for them should be charged. The government always charging us tax, and we got to be paying all this tax, and we're not getting justice in the Bahamas. And Brother Thompson,
Yes.
the organization in which you are part of pertaining to the Constitution, what's the name of it?
The Patriots.
Thank you.
We want patriotic Bahamians. That's why I told them to send me that email, because I can't get no calls now because some fellas don't want me to get no calls. But we're working on that. We can fix that. The thing is,
Miss Malcolm, excuse me, pardon me, Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah,
Miss
okay.
Malcolm,
Yes.
boy, a lot of your a lot of the communication in which you all two had herald hadn't came over. You were going in and out your radio station.
Yes, we're aware. There's some kind of technical challenge that's going on, and they're working on it as we speak.
So you're going to have to, I mean, you don't have to, but it would be nice if you would have played this show over, you know.
Well, it's going to be available on Facebook. It's going to be available on Facebook.
Well, you know, this.
I hope we didn't lose him.
Yeah, I think we may have lost him there.
Yeah.
But it is available on Facebook because we are streaming live to Facebook or rumble.com. That's rumble.com. So once you go to rumble.com, look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, with no space in between. That's where you'll find the Michelle Malcolm channel, the GPS channel there.
Yes.
And if you have an internet access, and you're able to access us on rumble.com, and you can go there and watch the show. So we are working on the technical challenges that we're having as we speak, as far as radio is concerned, and hopefully that'll be sorted out sooner than later. But for those who are unable to hear or were unable to hear the full thing as a result of those technical challenges, it will be available after the fact on Facebook or rumble.com. Okay. I think, we've all heard the reasoning, Professor, about why successive administrations have not dealt with this issue, because many of them have used allegedly persons to create a voting bloc, so for political reasons. And there are those who argue that if we do what it is that the Patriots are calling for the Supreme Court to do, this could cause some major upheaval in this country going back decades. And would it be worth it to do all of that, or should you just start from where you are now? I think
Hell
that's
no.
what people are thinking.
Hell no. We ain't starting no right now from where we are. That's unconstitutional to do that.
Okay.
disappoint my mother and my father and all the generation of their time, my grandparents, my great-grandparents going all the way back? Hell no. We want the government of the Bahamas to act according to the Constitution. We're asking the court to declare those things that are unconstitutional null and void. Those pieces of paper that they gave out, say they're certificates of citizenship. I mean, it's an affront to me. I'm offended by that sitting the next fellow who got something by fraud. I mean, what kind of crap is that? Ain't no such thing as no stopping right here and start. No, sir. You go right to the very beginning. The Bahamas Nationality Act, and generally we are against it. Specifically, and when you get to it, you will see the sections. We have difficulty with that. And 71 and 53, and I think 54, Article 54 and 63. Of course, we'll cover all of them. But the thing is that this is not constitutionally sound. It has hurt me and my family and the entire Bahamian population. We can't let this go like that. They want us to just give it a slide? Hell no. That's why we want you to be defenders of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's why I put my email out there. And you send me the information. Because I want to communicate with you and talk to you. Because the security of this country is important. You only have, the only document that you have to save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and you have the Holy Bible. That's the only thing you got. That's all you have, Bahamians. The Holy Bible supersedes the Constitution because the Constitution speaks about the supremacy of God. You cannot leave God out of your national affairs, out about your business affairs, out of your agreements. And you talk about looking at some other people who are not in sync with the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Constitution is the supreme law. When are we going to wake up to that fact? It's supreme, it's final. What it says is final until the people of the country decide through a referendum.
We have someone on Facebook, Professor, who is saying that they are in total agreement with you.
Yes, ma'am.
There are some, though, who are going to fight this tooth and nail. You have the activist groups. You have some of the politicians who are already coming out now and saying y'all ain't on point. So are you prepared for the fight that is going to be put up too? Because you know this ain't just happened, right? So
I waited 50 years for the Bahamian people to wake up. I was in the fight a long time. God was preparing me for this very day, February the 14th, 2024. I just didn't know when the day was going to come. Little did I know when I studied constitutional law that I would ever be involved in a fight like this. But when the Patriots called me and asked me to assist, I say everything got to be constitutionally sound. And they agreed. And everything in that motion is constitutionally sound. Now, if those who oppose it, tell them, please show us where we are wrong constitutionally. That's all I'm asking. I ain't gonna get in no other fight with you. Show me from the Constitution that I'm wrong.
Let me ask you something. How far are y'all ready to take this? If you take this to the Supreme Court and it is challenged, how far are you willing to go all the way to the Privy Council? How far are you willing to take this?
We're going straight through. Straight through. Right to the very top. Because, see, there's some things we already know, and some of those politicians don't know because they're living in ignorance. They think we are stupid. Well, come and show us where we are wrong. I ain't gonna get into know this and that or the next thing. All I'm asking them, they're just coming out after 50 years, no problem. Come out. If they have a right to come out, 24/1, no problem. See, I want people to challenge what we say if they have a difficulty with it. But show us from the Constitution that we're wrong. Anything outside of that, you say anything outside of that, I ain't listening to you. I got no time to waste with you. You have had 50 and a half years to run this nation. Look at the state it's in. And you just remember, you coming out? Come out then. The Constitution says you could express your views, so I ain't gonna knock that. But you show us, you show the Patriots where they are constitutionally wrong. Then we have to back down and say we were wrong. See, we ain't gonna be like some people who've been doing foolishness for more than half a century. And you want to fight? No problem. But you show us where we're wrong constitutionally. See, I'm going to read all the things what they say, you know. And only one question I'm going to ask. Where in the Constitution do you have validity for your argument? If you're not constitutionally sound, you may have an argument, yes, but we ain't into that. Too many lives are being lost. Too many people are suffering in this country because of some things that some people did to them, who they trusted, who they relied upon, who they depended upon. But now it is being exposed. And we are asking the court for specific things that we have asked in our motion. And everyone is constitutionally sound. We know it's constitutional. We believe everything we say in that originating motion. And the entire team agrees with it, 100%. We are locked in on that. And in addition to me speaking, whoever the team appoints to speak, they will be saying the exact same thing, what I am saying, everywhere they go. We are all united, one accord. You ain't hear this one say that one, that. Oh, no. No. If it ain't constitutionally sound, we ain't want nothing to do with it. That's the action we have taken, and we ain't bending on that. And they know Professor out of Walter Thompson don't play.
Sounds like we're gonna. I don't know how to put this, but it sounds like we're in for,
Ms. Malcolm. Ms. Malcolm, I have been preparing 50 years for this. Mm-hmm. And God has prepared me well. I've been well educated, well trained, and qualified to deal with this Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And those who may disagree with that, just look at the wake, just look at the evidence, just look at the proof. That's all we ask you to do. And if you are not constitutionally sound, we have to say we can't agree with that.
We have to take a break. Let's take this final break, and then on the other side, we're going to wrap it up. Stay with us. This is GPS. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
All right, we are back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, talking about a movement called the Patriots. And these learned gentlemen and ladies have put a motion before the Supreme Court asking it to once and for all deal with the inconsistencies as it relates to what is happening in our country and immigration and the Constitution of the Bahamas. And so we only have 6 minutes left in the show, Professor. So the next time you and I sit together, we have to go into more detail into the document that was presented to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So we can get a better understanding of what it is that you're calling on the courts to do.
That is correct. Yeah, no, I agree with you because there are quite a few things in there that we won't be able to cover today.
Well, obviously not, because we only have 6 minutes left.
No, we can't. No, we can't. Because it's, even some of the things that you mentioned before I came on the show, because I heard a portion of it. And the thing is, Bahamians, we have suffered so heavily over the last 50. We've lost 50 and a half years. We've lost that. Now, we have our part in causing that to happen. But see, from today onward, do not bury your head in the sand because there's hope for you. There's hope for your children. That's why we're fighting. We're fighting for the Bahamian people. And we're doing it according to the Constitution. And that's where the activists fell down in the past. See, I keep telling people all the time, you may have your view. You may have your opinion. You may have your idea. And people will be arguing. What is it based on? Is it constitutionally sound? Now, those particular personalities, whoever they may be, they oppose the motion. No problem. You show us and tell the Bahamian people where we are wrong constitutionally. And say, no, Professor Thompson is not telling the truth. You tell them that. Show them that we're not telling the truth. Because we sign on the affidavit, we speaking the truth. All of those who signed the document. Because we all agree with everything in it. And we put a lot of work into putting this thing together. Huh? We wanted to be airtight. We wanted to be constitutionally tight.
Professor, we have a caller on the line. Let's go to this is the final call of the day. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Thank you so much, Ms. Malcolm. I just wanted to commend the professor for the awesome work he's been doing in sharing the Constitution with the Bahamian people for years now.
Yes.
But we didn't know that it was going to become so critical in saving our present and future Bahamas. And I wanted to tell you, Ms. Malcolm, the only person I heard express any doubt about the legality of the filed document is the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party. Now, he is himself a lawyer, but I think his focus has been more real estate law, because I don't think he knows the Constitution either, or he would not be trying to defend the folly that has gone on here for all of these years. And so he's the only person, and I posted a copy of what he said on Friday. He said he doesn't know if the law is right that is being cited, but if it is, are we asking that thousands of documents be declared null and void? Yes, that is precisely what is being asked, and the courts of the Bahamas judiciary is legally empowered to do just that.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to ask anybody's opinion.
I don't understand why he would ask that question, because
he doesn't know the law. He doesn't know the law.
He
never made a living practicing law in this country.
No, but here's my point. If they were attained illegally, why is it a question as to what needs to be done?
Because the illegal attainment of those documents was assisted, aided, and abetted by him. Now, one beautiful thing about our law, fraud, there's no statute of limitations on it. You can't declare, well, I came at high tide or low tide, and I buy one paper, but I've been here 50 years. No, sir. There's no statute of limitations on the crime of fraud. Crimes have been committed against the Bahamian people with the aiding and abetting of many. We're going to need, when we get around to it, to make sure they are called into account for what they did to this nation.
Yes.
And another thing I wanted to point out, your caller earlier, Evangelist Storr, who is doing the kingdom's work, because that's the only thing that's going to save this place. But a lot of these young people who are so lawless, their parents are lawless, and they are not Bahamians, because let me tell you something, Miss Michelle, I don't care if you have bastard children, you're slightly gay, you're out of order with what the Word of God has said. Every Bahamian knows the Word of God. So these people who have no respect for the Word of God or our laws, they're going to need to be put back to the chaos that they came from. Thank you so much, Mom. God bless you.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. We are out of time, Professor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The next time you and I get together, we gotta really dive deep into this, because we were
Yes,
sort of
we will.
cheated today. We didn't get the full show today with
Yeah,
you.
that's
So
true.
next time
I
we get together.
apologize today. I
No,
apologize.
things happen. So I'm just glad that you were able to make it at all.
Yeah,
so
thank
until
you very
next
much.
time, we will go over in more detail the next time you and I get together. How's that
Yes,
sound?
ma'am. That sounds really good. I love it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you coming, especially knowing that you had a situation and you still made it to the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Guys,
very
it's
much.
4 o'clock. We got to get out of here. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, because we're going to have another great show planned for you. You know, I always try to bring something that is provocative and will help you to think beyond what you see, and we will certainly be doing that again tomorrow. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Have a good afternoon, and God willing, I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners.